right, here we are with Rusty. Rusty is practicing being on the bed. We are cooking some dinner, get everything ready. We have everyone over here eating some dinner, or about to eat some dinner, and singing his tongue out. And you can hear him whining because he wants to get off and come hang with everyone. But he's doing a really good job being calm, cool, and collected on his bed, even while everyone is in his line of sight, hanging out. You can see he's checking it out. He really wants to get on the floor. That's why those raised beds are so important. They really set that dramatic difference between you're being good on your bed versus you're being naughty and getting off the bed. So we're going to let him throw his fits if he wants to sit over there and yell. He is really getting used to not getting what he wants when he wants it. He's a pretty powerful dog, so he's used to just kind of jerking and pulling and jumping and just kind of doing whatever he wants. And so we're really working on teaching him to control those impulses so that he wants what we want. And we want him to be part of the family. And we don't want him jumping on the family or all of the food or all over the place. We want him just to be able to be part of the family and hang with us. So we're going to ignore the whine. And then when he's quiet and being good, we'll go over and we'll praise on him. And so we're just going to work on reinforcing the habits that we want, ignoring the ones that we don't, or correcting them if needed. So here the kids went over to play with Rusty. And they were just kind of petting and loving on him. And so now Vance is correcting Rusty. He's just staying right with his face. You can see him moving back and forth. And he's just going to stay with him. Oh. So even though he started eating, Vance is going to continue the correction until he puts his bum down. And then if he wants to stand up and eat, he can stand up and eat. Right now he's grabbing the leash to pick up the weight of the leash and apply contact pressure while he stands in front of him, applying distance pressure. Now if Rusty stands up to eat, that would be okay, but he can't revert to eating because he doesn't want to listen to what Vance was saying to put your bum down. So he's like, oh, look, I'm eating, I don't have to listen, and that was no. So having the kids do the correction also is really important. Sometimes they do need to use the contact pressure of that leash. That's why we leave it there, as well as that distance pressure. Because the dogs just don't respect them as much because they don't have that consistency and that timing that older people do. All right, here we are with Rusty. We just finished our walk. You can even see a key over there chilling. I'll put it so you can see both of them. We're just working on that calm, cool, collected while the family is walking all around. We're going to play some more of those sounds that drive dogs crazy. Bless you. And we're just going to eat breakfast and we're just going to have a normal crazy morning.
No matter where your science takes you, bring a snack everyone will enjoy. Let's go to summer to Golden Island. Feeling healthy by leaps and bounds. Making a dinner that makes their whole day. And giving your best friend the best memory.
I left it on the stairs. Scott, do you remember I put all these pillows? Oh, that's you put it away. Is that better than let these out here off the side of your head? Like this, or do you want it down like that? Yes, you may. So something important to remember is anytime you love on the dog or tell the dog they're good, they're generally going to be naughty right after that. Rusty, Scott. So right here, Scott's going to apply distance pressure to Rusty. He's going to walk up to his face, or as close as he needs to. He has been getting good where we can kind of correct him from across the room. This morning he's being a little more persistent, so Scott is just going to stay with his face until he puts his bum down. As soon as his bum goes down, Scott will walk away. Let's see. Yesterday I probably had to put his bum down during snack time. I don't know, maybe 200 times. The day before that was probably 300 times during dinner. So just knowing you're going to have to correct him over and over and over again, and that's okay. Aki's doing really well. She's much more chill. She loves to just lay and get belly rubs and just let the kids love all over her. So she's doing an awesome job. You just have two very different personalities, but it's fun to see both. That way you can understand how to correct what's going on. Rusty has been getting vocal while he's on his bed because he wants to get off. He's just throwing a big baby fit. I just ignore it unless his bum comes up. We don't give that any attention. All right, here we are with Rusty. It is our first walk of the day. We're working on that hand position. It's right by my back pocket. We're working on walking on that nice loose leash, being calm, cool, collected, no matter what is around us. So we're just going to do some walking. I'm going to use those 5 tools. There I was using the flick. If the flick isn't working, I'm going to do some zigzags or some rollbacks or some direction changes. Any of those 5 tools. I can do a reset. And I'm just going to get Rusty focusing on me, getting him thinking first thing this morning, paying attention so that we are not creating any pressure on this leash. We just want to walk together, be calm, cool, and collected. I'm hoping we'll meet some dogs this morning. And we met some with Aki this morning. Usually my dogs that bark at the fence aren't out in the morning. They don't get let loose until the afternoon, so we'll come back out in the afternoon. But we're just going to work on using those 5 tools when we're on the walk so Rusty can be calm, cool, and collected while on leash. When in the home, then we're going to go practice the bed. And we're going to have Rusty practice being calm, cool, and collected off leash while on the bed in the home. We're going to go to the reflect. He's already had his free play this morning, so free play, walk, bed, reflect, free play, walk, bed, reflect. And so we're just doing this walk. You can see it's the same thing every day. It's wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, right? So all that I'm doing will always stay the same. He may graduate being able to have the nose piece off of his nose. Maybe even someday to being off leash. But the training that we're doing will actually be the same no matter what phase he's at. We would just work on it in a few months of having the transitional leash off the nose. Then we'd work on it on having him on a long line as if he was off leash. But we're doing all the same steps. So everything is connected. So whether you're just wanting him to stay on this transitional leash over the nose and just walk and behave himself, or you're wanting him to someday be able to have a long line and just walk on a long leash with you, not having the transitional leash over the nose. Whatever that looks like, he can accomplish it through these same steps. But it takes time. A lot of owners will see how awesome they're doing at training and then expect them just to immediately act that way for them. That is not the case, especially with Rusty. Rusty is one that each person is going to have to earn that respect. He's more of a cat in a sense of not feeling that quick desire and need to please. He's very much the what's in it for me, and so each person's gonna have to earn it for him. So whether it's a daughter or a son or wife or grandma, each person's gonna have to know how to use these tools to teach him or else he will still be causing pressure on the leash and not acting so great. The other thing people do is they're like, oh, he did great for you, so he's good to go right now. No, he's not. It takes months of practice. I am able to get a lot done in such a short period of time because that's what I do. But most people are going to take months to have to readjust the dog's mindset to them and work on that consistency. Consistency is super, super important to dogs. Timing is super, super important to dogs. So when that consistency or timing is off, even by the tiniest little bit, it just slows the training down. So for months you will practice this leash walk and the bed work, and you're going to see so many changes start to come and flood in. And it's so cool as they start to change. In the past 4 days you've seen them more quickly, but they're just going to happen at home over time as you're doing the training program 3 times a day, and then you'll see those changes start to happen. As those changes happen, when the dog is where you want him to finally be, so if Rusty is, depending on what the owners want, right? If the owners are just wanting a dog to walk on a nice loose leash and to behave in the home, and that's all we need. I don't care if he's jumping on the furniture or barking or whatever. Like, once he's obtained that, you can start to give privileges, such as maybe you miss him sleeping in your bed with you. So you're going to start having him sleep in your bed. That's your thing you miss the most of everything. So you'll start there. You'll give him that privilege. And then if he's still being the awesome dog you want him to be, then you can add in sitting on the couch with you or eating at the table. I don't know, whatever it is for you. And if he's still being the dog you want to be, you'll add more and more privileges. As soon as he starts to do things you don't like, maybe it's peeing on something, or maybe it's jumping on people, you're going to take those freedoms away and then give them back to him over time again. It's just like our kids, you know, if you buy them a cell phone and they're doing good with it, awesome, but as soon as they abuse it, you take it away and then you'll give it back to them like, okay, remember, these are your restrictions, and then in general they'll do better, right? It's about earning and understanding the ability to earn and to lose privileges based on your behavior, and that's really going to help Rusty figure out how to control that behavior and make better choices. We're going to talk about how to put this transitional leash on this morning on Rusty. So usually when you find something in your home, it's usually thrown on the floor, kind of wadded up like this. So you're first going to open it up. You're going to find the handle. The handle looks like this. It's a little black piece with a loop. That's the handle, right? Take it out of the way because I don't need it for a minute. This black piece right here, I can push this button and it can move up and down the leash. This just keeps the slip lead from only being able to get so big, right? So right now, it's in slip lead mode, and so the leash can only get to this little black piece, Caleb. So it can get tighter, but it can only get so big, right? So that's slip lead. Right here, this black thing is the safety. I'm gonna clip it to the collar so that it can't come off of his head. Like if he got this off his nose and off his head for some reason, there's just one more backup to keep it on. And then right in front of this safety, there's this little O-ring, right? You're just going to pull the leash out like this. So this part's going to go over his head, right behind his ears. This little black piece is going to sit in between his ears, right in the middle. And then this piece is going to go over his nose. So before I put it on, I like to make it huge. That way I'm not trying to shove their nose in it. So let's look at it again. Grab the black piece, this little keeper piece. Hold it in one hand. Grab the piece in front of the figure 8. This is going to go over the head. This is going to go over the nose. Just like that. So that the leash is behind the head. So we will try to put it on like this, and then the leash is under its neck. I don't want it back there. I want the leash to come off its head. So I have my leash. I'm going to go, make it a little bigger. I'm going to go over his head. And then I'm going to go over his nose. Then I'm going to cinch it up, and you can see it's crooked, right? It's way over here to the side. So I'm going to push the leash, the top leash, the way I want it to go, and I'm going to pull the bottom leash the opposite direction. Because they're all connected, so as I push on one side and pull on one side, now it's right where I need to go. I'm going to push this black keeper button. I'm going to push it down. I want to be able to lift up the weight of an apple and there only be 1 inch Rusty is so full of fluff, you'll notice as you're walking, the more you pull on it, the looser and looser it'll get, so you're just going to keep tight. This safety is going to get connected to his collar. Find the collar. Just like this. Now I have my leash on, take a blade of an apple. There's just a tiny bit of, oh, see now how his hair is moved and it's too big. So I'm going to cinch that down. I just need an inch of space. Then when I let go, then it's loose. You've heard me talk in the videos about sometimes I have to reach my hand in there to get the fluff out. I can have it here. I'll show you. So right here, you can see when I pull up, when I let go, sometimes it just gets caught in his hair, so I just reach my hand down there and just make sure it's loosening up. The way this transitional leash works is it tightens across the nose and behind the ears here, and then it loosens whenever I release that pressure. But if it's caught on all of his fur and his undercoat, it's not going to loosen, so you just want to help loosen it up so he's getting that reward. And then he is ready to go. To take it off, I'm going to push the black button, loosen it up. I'm going to take it off of him. I do not allow him to take it off himself. I take it off his head, take it off his nose, take it off his collar, and now we're all set to go. I'm going to put it on one more time because we are going to go for the walk. Because I just put him on his bed to show you how to do it. I'm going to put this collar over. Okay. I'm going to go. Let me move this one so it's not one less thing you're looking at. Going to go over his head, behind his ears. Going to go over his nose. Going to cinch it down. It's a little crooked. And scoot it over. Put it right in between his ears. I attach it to his collar. And now we're good to go. We're going to go for a walk.